Welcome everyone again to a new podcast of the Crazy Mal Show. We have Lucas and Pablo. We are traveling around the world. Today we are in Shanghai and we are with our friend Enoch. He is a mastermind. He's a great entrepreneur that we met a few days ago. He has an amazing story about how he went with 15 years old to live in New York and how he has been traveling around the world. He has created and found amazing things. He's the co-founder of Seizi Digital, and thank you very much for having been here with us.
No, thank you for having me.
I think in this talk we can get a lot of value from your experience and perspective. First, you went to New York and you lived in college, and after that with a lot of a frugal mentality you taught us the other day, and that was really nice how you frame things to save and how you can build your path to successfulness or financial freedom, you call it, right? I think you can walk us through how do you think of the first steps of your path and how can other people implement it?
Well, I think like the first step of the path is like you need to have a passion. You have to be always be curious about at least building things. At least for me it is, right? So for me, building a startup from a very early age, it just means I can be free to do whatever like I want. And in order to be free, right, then we need like money. And for me, money means constant cash flow. So that's also lead to why I build my business right now, right? So back in New York, I wasn't like very rich, right? So when I started working, right, when I got out and I saved a lot. I saved to a point that like that will jeopardize my social relationship, right? But so at that time I have to put a cap on like how much I actually have to spend every month. So this way to put me back on track. Invertly, right? But then once I guess once I have some capitals, right, and I always into just building startup and those, right? So what I did is once I have enough and then I start trying to invest in, well, I guess wouldn't call it investment, but just use that capital fund to start building different businesses, right? So it starts from a really small businesses like e-commerce, drop shipping, and then like I also start I start selling stuff on eBay. At one point I have a tailoring business, just basically like make tailor suit from China, ship it back to New York, and then make a little bit of difference, right? So slowly after maybe like around like 5-6 years, I built like a bunch of like small businesses, and then I start learning how to like how to actually get like passive cash flow.
Awesome. You've built a lot of type of businesses, as you're saying, and others that you're not mentioning that we talked about the other day. And I'm curious about how would you approach building anything with the knowledge that you acquired over the years? Like, because you've done a lot of things, you got a lot of perspective on what works and what doesn't. And what do you think would be the common area points for to be successful?
Well, to be successful, I'm still trying to be successful.
Well, you're successful.
Yeah, but to be successful, the first thing is like you cannot afford to lose all your money, right? So for me, I play it really safe, right? So I like the lean startup MVP method, right? So when I build anything, I'll test the market first, right? At a very minimal cost, especially right now in the age of AI, and we can build prototype really quickly, right? So a lot of time it's not about the building, it's about pushing and ask people for validation. And the best way to ask for validation is tell people to pay you. So for example, right now I have a very really decent size AI digital transformation business. So what we do is we help like big businesses like and different businesses to transform their traditional business into AI digitalized business, right? So we are trying to help them to the next level, but in order to do that, I need to be safe. So some people, what they would do is they would spend a bunch of capital, build an AI company and try to sell it. For me, I'm relatively more traditional. I mean, like what we will do is we'll go to a client, we'll explain them, this is what we'll do, this is how we can help. And if you find it useful, here's a contract, pay us the down payment first. So I cover my costs. so I don't have much risk, right? And then, of course, I have to uphold my end of the bargain, which is make it like deliver at high quality, right? But then this also keep me from being like losing money and bankrupting myself, because no one wants to spend 6 months to a year building something that you don't know if you can sell. So one thing is I become pretty good at selling, and because ultimately selling is just value exchange. So I'm able to just basically talk to different companies and tell them, hey, I can do this for you, and here's a contract, and pay me first. So this is how I get my validation. So this is relatively safe, and I see so many examples which I probably made the same mistake before. You spend 6 months building, and then you realize that no one want to pay you for it. So now we skip that process entirely and try to get money upfront. And the truth is, if you provide enough value, and you can guarantee that like other people, you can provide the value, then there's no reason not for them not to pay you.
Chicos, importantísimo. Antes de seguir con el vídeo, tengo que contaros uno de los mayores miedos que tenemos cuando viajamos durante la vuelta al mundo. Y es que nos pasamos horas grabando, horas ideando planes, y cuando de repente nos vamos a poner, cuando ya hemos editado todo el vídeo, a lanzarlo y subirlo a redes sociales, ¿y si no se sube? Porque es que estamos todo el día cambiando de lugares, moviéndonos entre países. Menos mal que contamos con HOLAFLY Plans, que es una suscripción mensual que pagamos una vez al mes, no tenemos que hacer nada y nos da internet ilimitado en más de 170 países. Muy probablemente a ti que te guste viajar y te pases el día de un lado para otro, te vendría fenomenal tener una única suscripción mensual que te da internet y te quita el problema de estar conectado. Si te interesa, entra en el enlace que tienes más abajo, busca el plan que mejor se adapte a lo que tú buscas y con el código CRAZY tienes un 10% de descuento en tu suscripción a HOLAFLY Plans. Disfruta del vídeo.
Like you can see all the clients from
Every single mark is where we have clients, so we got all over the world.
So there's proof, right?
Good.
I would like for you to tell how would you approach. Imagine you go to Dubai. We were talking about Dubai the other day, right?
Yeah.
And you go to Dubai and you wanna go for sell some clients, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How will you approach it? How will you do it?
Well, actually, so for example, the Dubai client, right? We already gauge interest before we head there. So we will go there, and then we we realize that they need digital transformation. So they technically need our help, right? So online, we already have a discussion, we have a proposal process and all that stuff, right? So when we go there, actually, we already go through the proposal process. We already build a lot of those. Actually, a lot of our clients, right? We got people from Spain, from Netherlands, right? Some of the clients we actually never met face to face. We are just basically a lot of time they will test with a smaller project, but once you are able to deliver at high quality, there's no reason they don't keep coming back.
And how
for you.
Can you generate the confidence or the expectations for the client to trust you without seeing you, without,
Because people normally need any kind of view of the person they're gonna make a deal with.
Now that's true. I mean, you cannot on day one try to land gigantic client. You need to slowly build out your portfolio. I've started my company 10 years ago, so we have a pretty strong portfolio and market recognition. But at the very beginning, I remember very specifically, I was in New York. That was back in 2014. My first client. So right now we say we are an AI plus digital transformation company. But then back in the days, 2014, that wasn't that. So I remember I was working out from my apartment with my business partner, 2-person. What we did is we go on Yelp. We call every single restaurant, and we have this idea. It's okay, we can build website for restaurant, and they all need an online ordering system for restaurant. So we just cold call every single one of them. At that time, we haven't built any of those, but we'll build some website for us for fun. Right, we are young, right? So we call every single one, and then a lot of people hang up. Some people actually you know what? It's good. We ask them where's your boss? Is your boss here? Most of them they'll say no, but some of them they're oh, my boss is here in afternoon. Maybe you can come by. So we'll just close our laptop, run down the street, go to the restaurant, talk to their boss, and show them this is what we have built as a template that we have built it before. Right, back in 2014, there was not many people building a website, right? So we'll be like, we'll bring our laptop, show it to them. With this website, you can get online sales. All you need to do is put a card over there, right? And people can just order from you online. Like, what do you think about that? And this website charged $800. Not a lot of money, right? But slowly, through hustling, we build our portfolio, we start getting bigger projects, and now we are in a much stronger position. So when you ask me how to start, everyone have to start somewhere. It's the hustle, man.
I think one really good way in order to the audience to understand your mindset, your mentality, is if you can talk about the non-bio page way that you use that.
Oh yeah. So I find this like wonderful website. So when 2014, I have two options. One is like I was thinking about traveling around the world also, but then I also know that I need money. And the best way to actually travel around the world is I can get clients all around the world while living there, so I can get paid and live. But one thing is, different countries have different living standard. So if I live in New York, like for example, something like if I go for dinner, it's going to cost me $20. Right, so this website Namio would allow me. It will basically list out every single city living expense as a percentage. So, for example, if it's like New York, New York is 100, then maybe Shanghai, China is 45. That means it's 60. It's a 55% discount compared to New York with the same living standard. And then if you look at Switzerland, it's 120. So it's like with the same food that you get. Is 20% more than New York, right? So with that, then I can essentially calculate my living expense and my quality of life. Because if I'm able to get clients through the internet, online, even locally, then I know how much I can make. But at the same time, I also know how much I need to spend, and if I can keep my spending low while keeping my my payment. Like how much I make higher, then I have a pretty decent life. So when you say like how rich you are is all relative to the local living price, like living standards. So this way it's very easy for me to like pick an optimal country to live at.
And you picked Shanghai.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know. I mean, if you travel with the same amount of money going to Latin America versus going to Europe, it's quite different. Like if you go to Switzerland, it's different, right?
There has been months where our life was cheaper and months where we were in a tough moment.
Yeah,
for sure. Saying this, you have shown us that you have a really rational way of thinking sometimes, and you also have a really imaginative and creative way of doing things. For example, the YEP way that you approach clients with your founder. What do you think is more important? Do you think they collide those parts, or one is better than the other one?
Wait, which two are you talking about?
The practical way that you think about things, or the creative, imaginative way of also thinking?
I think you need both, right? So we can have crazy idea, but we need to keep it practical. Like practical as in it is doable and executional, right? But without the creativity, you won't be able to differentiate yourself, right? So I think you need both, right? So if you ask me what's more important, I think creativity comes first. Without creativity, then you become commoditized because all your idea is the same, right? Then you need to actually calculate so you don't go bankrupt. So you can actually support your creativity, right? So for example, right, Elon Musk, like think about how I can go to Mars. It's very creative, but then he's also very executional, right? So I think both are important. So when client asks us because we're in the business of helping client transforming their business, right, and upgrading their business. So we have to jump out of the traditional thinking because otherwise we have no advantage compared to them. They have been in the industry for 20, 30 years and we are new. We are like tech consultant.
Yeah.
Right. But once we are able to give them, okay, this is the next level. If you put AI into your factory, then you have literally AI control your entire smart factory. But at the same time, we need to keep it economical, executional, otherwise they go bankrupt, right? If the AI costs $1 million, they don't do it. We don't close the deal. So it needs to be reasonable also. So it's both. But our creativity comes first.
What would you say is most scarce in the world's mentality on average, that if people did this, they would be on the path to be successful? Like simple things, like execution.
Simple things. Do the right thing every day. Like just make sure you do something every day. Like no matter how small, right? It's the compound interest. So compound interest doesn't just apply to investment. It applies to your skill. I mean, like there's an old saying, like if you improve 1% every day, in a year you are 37 times better on that skill. But most people don't stuck for over a year. So if we can just do one thing every day and don't give up, I think that's the most important thing.
Walk us through your 3-step daily like visualization process.
Okay. Yeah.
That was awesome, and I think everybody needs to hear this.
Yeah. So I have 3 guiding principle for me to navigate my life every day, right? So one is everything is predetermined already. And then a little quotation is based on the decision that we make, right? So it's basically is if we make the right decision, right? Whatever outcome is beyond my control because we already did the best. So don't worry about it, right? But so all the decision making process, before we make the decision and take the action, that's on us. But whatever happened after we take action is not on us anymore. So everything is predetermined already.
So you, for example, think about asking a girl on a date or sending this email for a contract. You don't know what's going to happen when your supposed client or your potential client receives the email, but you have to do it in the best way you can.
Yeah. So
after that, it's predetermined.
Yeah. So for example, right, the client, they have a set budget, they have a set position, right? So if just put it very simplistic form, if your client have a budget of 1,000, and you know your cost is 10,000, you're not on the same page. No matter how beautiful an email that you sent, they are not going to take your order. But on the other hand, if it happened that another client, they have a budget for 10K, and you send them a quotation for 12, now you have room for negotiation. But the only way to find out is to send it. Make your best decision, right? What's their budget level? Same thing with for example, girl on a date, right? If they like you, then no matter what message you send, they'll probably reply. But if they don't like you, you can write a poem like Shakespeare, and still they're not going to get any reply. So it's not on you.
You still need to try, but
you still need to try.
Know the answer if you don't send the message.
Exactly.
And the second?
The second is the time is now, right? There's no future and there's no past. There's only right now, right? So how I like to say this is the future is basically come from our creative imaginations. And the past is we access our memory cell to think about what happened yesterday and use our creative imagination to recreate that scene. So the only thing that's real is actually right now because we are not imagining things. So once we know this, then you know the only moments that we have is now, so it's better just to make the best out of right now.
And the third?
The third is take effective action and results will come. And the key word here is effective action. Not just any random action. Random action will get you also results. It go back to everything is predetermined already, right? But then if you take effective action, like for example, if you work out every day, you will get strong and the results will come. But of course, if you work out in the wrong way, when you take ineffective action, you also get results, but it's just ineffective results. So all 3 combined is my guiding guiding North Star on taking my action. So yeah, I mean that will remove fear, allow me to take more action and focus on the moment.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a masterclass. I don't think if you want to add something.
Just to finish, we are called the Crazy Mile because we believe that craziness, that to chase something crazy is always the right path.
Yeah.
Knowing your previous path all around the world, all the things that you have done, and also your mentality, what is the crazy thing that you want to do with your life in a bigger scale?
Crazy things. Well,
Next crazy step, or
Next crazy thing.
I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to build our AI drivers that can basically help me with my business. So I build it for myself, not really for the world. I know there's a lot of company trying to build like AI agents and all that stuff. Yeah, that's one of my passion. Just want to build it. But at the same time, this is my current crazy thoughts. Who knows? Maybe in a month I will have other crazy thoughts. I mean, like I believe in just chasing whatever that I want to do. So hey, you know what? We are all fully allowed to change our goal. So we're not stuck anyway. So.
yeah, of course, definitely.
Yeah.
And just to finish, hearing the podcast or watching the video, there's someone maybe in their sofa, maybe in their desk, whatever, chasing something, chasing a dream like us. And what would you say to them? Maybe if they're starting, or maybe they're in the middle. What would you say to the world to inspire them and on how to live as much as possible?
How to live as much as possible. Well, the truth is, whatever that you're thinking of, want to do, no one is really stopping you but yourself. And if you think about is, oh, other people judgment or something like that, just know this. If you do what 99% of the people do, you'll get the results of 99%. So if you want to be exceptional and have results of the top 1%, then you must do things differently than 99% of the people. So, and the only thing that's stopping you is you, and that's it.
Amazing, Enoch. It was nice.
Yeah, of
nice
course.
to meet you again.
Very nice chat.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Thank you for watching, and see you in the next chapter.
Bye.